Hello again. Guess who? It's me. Oh dear, here we go, here we go. You may find this story hard to believe, and that's why I'm going to tell it to you because it's hard for me to believe and it happened to me. I should say I happened to it. It's a little bit strange. So here we go. If you don't believe it, that's fine with me. I wouldn't blame you a bit, not one bit. It's hard for me to relate this a little bit because it stirs up some emotions. Let's just put it that way. I was home. It was probably late morning. I don't know what time it was. I really don't remember, but I had gotten out of the shower and I was covered. I was partway dressed, but I wasn't presentable or ready to go to the door. I wasn't all the way dressed. And my son was home, and I'm thinking he was maybe 8, 9, but I couldn't swear to that. I really can't remember. It's all a blur now. And we were home. My husband was at work. I think it was had it been summertime because he wasn't. It was either Saturday or summertime. I think it was in the summertime. And suddenly, without any warning or anything, and here we were down at the end of the house by the bathroom, and I had no cell phone with me, and I had no house phone with me, which I keep them with me pretty much all the time. But I didn't have a cell phone or a house phone with me. And at my front door, somebody was banging the crap. Oh, it's banging the heck out of my front door, just like pow, 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 pow on my front door, like with a fist. Like it was not anything you'd expect, totally unexpected. And I knew that my front door was unlocked and my back door was unlocked. And here I was with no phone, and I thought, what the heck do I do now? Because if I was going to go where the phone was, if somebody could see through the window of the heart, not the screen door, but the regular door. I don't know what you call that. There's a window in it, and if somebody was out there, they could possibly see me, and I wasn't dressed, and I didn't want to. I just decided to stay put right where I was and not answer the door and deal with it, which was probably not the smartest thing I could have done, but that's what I did. And we waited a couple of minutes, and then we creeped into the bedroom to look outside. And I can't remember if we saw this guy getting back into his car or what, but there had been a guy at my front door, probably in his late 20s, maybe. I don't know. And I didn't get a real good look, but my son got a better look than I did. And so when he left in his car was parked outside, then I finished getting dressed and we got in my truck and we went. The police station is like 2 blocks, a block or two from the house. So we went over to the police station and talked to them, gave them all the information. And then I was thinking to myself, and this is where I wasn't surprised that I did this part, but the other part I was pretty surprised at. I thought, well, maybe they're going to go out looking for him, but I'm going to go out looking for him because I have a cell phone and I can, call if I see him. So sure enough, we went down a couple of streets and not too far from our house, couple streets down on the corner, there was his car. And it was interesting to me when we got to the police station, my son remembered the color of the car and the color of his clothes and so forth. And I got it wrong. He goes, "No, Mom, that's not right. It was this." And he was right. I was wrong. And so here's this guy standing out in somebody's driveway talking. It was somebody he did not know. At least that's my take on it. And I got to move this thing so my screensaver doesn't go on me again. Um, and he was talking to this man in the driveway, and something just took over. And I thought, what I was thinking to myself was, I am not going to go back in that house and sit and wait for this guy to show up again on you know, some day, who knows when. I was not going to go home and sit. My home was my place of safety. I have never felt afraid in my home. And I thought, I am not going to go back home and shiver and shake in my shoes and think that the bad man is going to come back. That's what I was thinking. And I thought, you're not going to make a coward out of me. And so I got out of my car, my truck, and I walked halfway up to where he was. And in plain view and hearing range of the man that was standing there, I said, "You don't come up and bang the crap out of my door, and you don't knock doors in this town anyway. It's against the law, and you don't tear up he tore up the grass on the property out in front with his car. He went over the grass and spun it up, and the big tire, like, what do you call that? Trench, like a little trench where the tire had gone through and tore up all the grass. And I said, and you don't do that either. You know, I said, you don't do this, you don't do this, and you don't do that. And I said, and the police are out looking for you. And then I got back in the truck, and when I got in the truck, I noticed he had no license plate. And I'm like, you don't drive a car without a license plate either. So I immediately called 911 back, and our 911 is in the town where our county seat is. It's like a half hour away. So what they do is you call the 911, and then they call your police department. So I called 911 back, and I told them, this is what happened. I found him. I talked to my police department. He has no license plate. And they said, he got back in his car. I waited. I think I waited. Anyways, he got back in his car, and they said, follow him. So I did. I did. I followed this guy. So I followed him, you know, down to the main road, and I kept talking to 911, and then something happened. My son did something to the cord, or what. Somehow I got disconnected from 911. So then I had to call him back and say, I was just on the phone with you people. I'm following the bad guy. He turns down a side street, I follow him. He goes partway down the street, I follow him. He pulls in somebody's driveway. Now he's sitting in someone's driveway, and I know these people, not real well, but for some reason I happen to know that they were out of town on vacation, and I'm thinking he has no business at these people's house at all. And so they got through to the police department. They told me, the 911 people told me, block them in with your vehicle. I'm thinking, we had a brand new truck we were leasing. It was cheap. We couldn't turn it down. It was a cheap lease. We had a brand new, I think it's like a ZR2 or something, a S10 truck. It was 4x4, sat way up high. Big truck. For a little truck, it was a big truck. And so I'm blocking this guy in at the end of the driveway. And he starts backing out like he's going to hit me. And I'm thinking, I'm insured, hit me. Go ahead, hit me. And I don't know what I was using for brains, because he could have been armed or whatever. But I thought, you are not getting out of this driveway if I can help it. And so he comes up to my window and he said, would you move your vehicle or whatever? And I said, no, 911 told me not to. And I rolled my window up and waiting to see. I guess I could drive away if I needed to. I don't know what I was thinking. So at any rate, I'm sitting there, and the police officer in town pulled up in his own vehicle and, you know, got a hold of the guy, came back to me and told me it was okay, I could leave now. So I did. I left, but I thought, well, the reason that I'm telling this wild story is because it's kind of like the story about the tornado. I really did not know that I would do that. I really didn't know I would do that. And it kind of freaks me out, to tell you the truth, because I'm thinking, you don't know what you'll do. You know, when your safety and your parameter around your little place of safety is violated, and somebody's stepped over the line, you really don't know what you'll do. Because I don't think I would have confronted him if there hadn't been people there. You know, I probably wouldn't have confronted him one-on-one. I probably would have followed him. And I don't know whatever happened. I never followed it up to find out if he got arrested. But all I knew is that my police department had him, and he had no plate on his car, and they knew he had banged the heck out of my front door. Bam! I'm telling you, this guy was like bam, 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 bam at my front door. And I'm thinking, you don't come and do that to my front door, and I'm not going to come and find you. So I'm not a was it vigilante? Is that the word? I'm not a vigilante or whatever the word is, but it's amazing to me, you know, what takes over when your safety and security is threatened. So I'm not advocating anything in particular. I'm really not. I'm a nonviolent, you know, I'm a nonviolent woman. I have about 15 or 20 adopted sons, just, you know, adopted sons, just friends of my son. I bake cookies. That's that's what I do. I was surprised I didn't offer him cookies, but I was not offering the guy cookies. That was not an option that day. I was, and I had a child to protect, which is sounds opposite from the video about the storm that I just made last night. So it doesn't make any sense to me. I had a child to protect, but I had a domain to protect. That was my area of safety and security, and I did not appreciate it being violated. So for whatever that's worth, maybe nothing, maybe nothing, but for whatever that's worth, that's a story. It's a truth, and I'm sticking to it. Have a good day. Bye.